But to get over this dude in 336 hours, which is 2 weeks exactly, I'm telling you exactly what God tells us to do, which is to not mourn for the dead. And if you master this, you will get over him. It's the core of why you have not been able to move on in a whole trifecta kind of way. This is the Ever Airwaves Think podcast, brought to you by Live One Company, where we explore ideas that challenge, comfort, and clarify. I'm Liv, and in every episode, we break down life's complexities with intellect, insight, and a touch of curiosity. All right, we're on air. Ladies, I'm here to help you do something you haven't been able to do, which is get over that man. Thank God your little toxic relationship is over. Well, possibly not toxic, but a relationship that ended that needed to end. One where you just weren't compatible, or he was not stepping up to the plate, or one where he left you for another woman. You know, his little side piece. Whatever happened, it's time to get past it. I know you're still hooked, attached, want him back, and can't let him go. Well, for your own sanity, you have to. And I'm going to tell you how to do it. But first, I'm going to tell you why you haven't been able to, because there is a very specific universal reason you haven't. All right, back to your relationship that ended, or maybe needs to end. There is one specific reason you have not gotten over him. And if you master this, you will get over him in 2 weeks, tops 4 weeks, or in severe cases, in up to 3 to 4 months, which psychologists who've dedicated their careers to studying the aftermath of relationships say it's the average time it takes, male or female, to get over someone. Anything longer than that, your situation is severe, my dear, okay? And you really should seek professional help, because I ain't no doctor now, but hey, I will get you right and help you with what I can and what I know, all right? And I mean, I am my sister's keeper. Yes, nod your head. You've been tuned in, so you know that I am, right? So back to you living your best life and the heartbeat of moving on. I know this is a soft life, soft woman to woman energy show, but our topics go deep and wide, and I'm about to go deep for a minute. I need for you to listen carefully. Your time spent with him was an investment of your mental, physical, and emotional fortitude. Yes, you were a commodity. Yes, commodity. A commodity to him. What is a commodity? Okay, let me refresh you in Economics 101. A commodity is anything, yes, anything, person, place, or thing, okay, that brings value and can be exchanged for value. Got it? So we're not just talking about money. We're talking about anything that has value to it. You, okay? You, my love, are and was his commodity. You brought value to the relationship, and however you contributed to the relationship through your nurturing, caring, and loving self, elevating him, loving him, rubbing his back, massaging his feet, encouraging him on the daily, and probably even spending your coins from time to time, or even all the time, to care for him. Side note, before I continue, I have to interject here. I think I hate saying this new urban soliloquy catchphrase, my love and beautiful, and addressing people instead of calling them their names or anything. In addressing you, I'm still undecided on this. It's given false term of endearment to me. There's something disingenuous about these new societal urban expressions. It's given low-key name calling for the sake of trying to keep it cute. Maybe I'll save this subject for another episode, but I addressed you as my love because that's just how we talk these days, and it tends to be received well, but I digress. About the time you've spent, or should I say invested in this relationship, that's the reason. That is the root cause. It's the core of why you have not been able to move on. And again, I'm giving you the reason right now to why you are still in a chokehold after you've broken up with your man. It's because you cannot get him back. Your time, again, you, the commodity, the good, okay? You, the product, you, all right? That's what commodity is, a good or a product. You, brought your whole valuable self to the table in your relationship, and after months or years building towards something meaningful, or at least you thought was meaningful, it's destroyed. Here's an analogy. It's like spending hours building a sandcastle in the sand, and here comes this big wave and it destroys it. Can the sandcastle be rebuilt? Possibly, and heavy on the possibly, because why would you want to rebuild if your situation was toxic? It's giving less than smart. So yes, you can attempt to rebuild it, but those hours you originally put into your relationship or into building this beautiful sandcastle, they're gone and you're never getting that back. You put your heart and your soul into that man and it hurts like hell because you're no longer together and it feels wasted. Who wants to feel wasted? Especially when something has felt, it's part of you. Like this was part of you. That man felt like he was part of you and you felt like you own the results, the good results, the special things that came out of that relationship. Why do you think we say, my man, my man, my man? Nene Leakes and her one-liners, oh my goodness, she is reality TV gold. But seriously, we say my man, my man, my man, because it's a sense of ownership. Saying my man means that he belongs to you, right? And it's you marking your territory. But now that it's over, it feels like you were robbed of your territory, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And it's because you were robbed, sis. Okay, in a whole trifecta kind of way. In your mind, you're a wreck because now everything as you know it has changed. The idea of love feels gone and like you'll never have it again. Emotionally, your heart is broken, and physically, you don't have his presence anymore. So no one to be booed up with, Netflix and chilling, whatever. It's a whole trifecta aftermath. He stole your heart. I mean, literally stole your heart. Even more reason to move on, okay? You can't be out here tied to heart stealers, not these kind of heart stealers. Like he literally intercepted, caught the football, and instead of going for the touchdown, took your heart and ran off in the field. Ciao, and into the stadium parking lot and drove off. No field goal or anything, just peaced out. Kind of like in the movie Forrest Gump when they put Forrest in the college Alabama football team because of how fast he could run. And every time he'd catch the ball, he'd make the touchdown, but kept running and running and running, like past the touchdown zone, all the way out the stadium. I mean, he was giving Roadrunner meet type speed. But anyway, he didn't know where to exactly stop. So he just knew to just run until the crowd started like creating signs to tell him when to stop. It was super hilarious. But like after he made the touchdown, I was just cracking up because I was like, he needs to stop. But I do love that movie, a great movie. But that's the example I'm trying to give you. And that's what he did to you. He just kept on running. And if a man wants to leave you, let him. Let his dusty tail go. Because if he doesn't see your value, someone else absolutely will. And his cowardly self may not see it now, but trust me, in the long run, he'll feel it. And like Usher, he's going to have to let it burn. When I tell you it never fails, it never fails. When it's not an amicable split and that man breaks it off with you and really like with no closure, that's on him. Because your power is always in your power to move on. And that's going to be your strength. Because move along, sir, move along. You're not welcome back. If he leaves you once like this, it's only the setup for him to do it again and again. And this is the type of behavior that's in him. This is who he is. It's part of how he operates and how he thinks because he's a little punk. He's trifling. So, I don't know why, you think it might be cool to chase after a man anyway. It's given very low brow, missing scruples. So you better not negotiate your self-worth. I already told you that you're valuable, sis. You're a whole commodity. If he wants to go, let him, please, because honestly, you can't force what's not meant to be. And I'm talking about magnetic forces that spiritually align people. And if it's not there, it's not there. So stop trying to fight invisible magnetic forces from above that is literally telling you no to this raggedy relationship. If you know, you know. If not, I want you to invest in the world's most top-selling book of all time. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. You're going to have to do a little bit of research and work yourself, friend. But seriously, your dignity matters. And you have to have some decorum and stop begging that man back. True love never requires you to beg. And the right person will stay because they want to and not because you pleaded heaven and earth for them to do so. So, like, please, come on, let's be smart. I don't want to see any of you on my social media feeds crying over a man unless you out there telling your story. I mean, exposing him like Risa Tisa on TikTok. And securing a big bag. Okay, that's all. I'm all ears for that. That's what I'm here for. That's what I signed up for. I'm tuned all the way in for the fun, the foolery, and the expose of it all. Because what? We exposing no good men. We name dropping. We dragging them through those media streets. We warning the girls. Real quick, if you haven't picked up the Woman's Daily Book of Wisdom, Inspiration, Motivation, and Information, Dropping Gems 365, Gems with a Z, I encourage you to do so now. It's published by Live One Company, yes, us, and written by one of our resident authors, Nijan Eldane. You can't go wrong. Oh, and did I mention it's a 5-star book? It's available everywhere books are sold. Make sure you get your copy, and if you love it, and I know you will, please leave a glowing review. Thank you. Remember, I said that you are a commodity. This means you are of value. You bring value to the relationship. And at some point, there was an exchange of value, whether it was a real exchange of value or not, meaning he was at some point very, very good to you. And more times than not, it was at the beginning of your relationship, that put that hook, line, and sinker on you. He had you hooked and in a trance, because some of us are okay if he does everything right and treats us over the moon, especially in the very, very beginning, because, it's their representation. It's Mr. Representative. That's their character at first. And then give it about 90 days. And then whoever they really are will kind of pretty much come to light. But us women too, right? So, we're always putting on our front, right? Because we want to give the best we got, and he wants to give the best he got. We putting on these fronts to be a flawless catch. But again, that's what he does at the beginning to get you and sink you in. And he knows that you're a commodity. He knows you're a good keep, but something has happened and the relationship is no more. Right now, at this very moment in your breakup, you are anchored to the thought that the work you've put in, being in a relationship with him, still holds value and did. But, I'm not denying that it had value, but the issue is you've allowed your self-worth to get tied up into him. And I'll give you an example. There are so many people that work or do something for years and then retire from it. And have you ever noticed that a lot of professional sport players, when they announce their retirements, and then it's like one season later, they're right back into the game, quote unquote, they said they retired, but they literally are right back into that sport. A fake retirement. Like Tom Brady, he lost his whole wife, Giselle, to another whole man. His identity was wrapped into football, and she had already supported him all those years, and he had promised to retire, in which he did, but a season later returned right back to the NFL. So she wanted him home. She wanted the family time he promised to her and the kids, but his self-identity was wrapped up into football until she left him. Then all of a sudden, she became a priority or became important to him, but it was too late. And I mean, I get it. Who wants to see their footballer husband continue to be tackled and get body blow after body blow? It's like a car coming at you 60 miles per hour in football when you're tackled and possibly getting CTE. So she chucked up the deuces on Tom, and he was butthurt, but it is what it is. Tom's self-identity was wrapped up in his football and not his family. And your self-identity is wrapped up into your ex and not beyond him and not other things that are also important in your life. That's the problem. You have to stop psychological anchoring. You have to stop it. The funeral is over. Yes, I said funeral because the same feelings you experience at a funeral of someone you care about are the same feelings you experience in a serious breakup. Like you literally just went to a funeral, girl, and you are still in the stage of mourning. We shall mourn no more over the dead. Now, I'm always wearing my theologian hat over here. And to be clear, I am not being insensitive to your relationship or situationship that has died. I'm telling you exactly what God tells us to do, which is to not mourn for the dead. Let there be no wailing at the grave, sigh in silence and move on. Okay. Book of Ezekiel, chapter 24. Now that, you have full permission to get over this and get on with your life, I'm going to tell you how to move on and live an unbothered, meaningful life and make new valuable investments. What I have to say next is nothing new, but to get over this dude in 336 hours, which is 2 weeks exactly, is to get busy being busy. Why? Because an idle mind is the devil's playground. There is no sitting around thinking about him at all. Not a zip. Okay? Everything that connects you to him, that takes you back to that state of mind, throw it away or take it down to the Goodwill. Pictures deleted or removed from your recents, archive them things to the cloud, out of sight, out of mind. And when you come across them and 3 to 4 years later from now, you may have the strength to actually delete them forever. Now that you've removed, upfront memories, what you do next is pull out your phone or digital planner and you plan every hour in your life for the next 2 weeks and stick to it. Set your alarms, your reminders, your notifications, your Alexa and your Google devices, because this is a devised plan. Military Operation 101 says you have been deployed. 5 a.m. prayer, devotion, and motivational workout. 6:30 a.m. eat breakfast. 7 a.m. Starbucks drive-through. 8 a.m. work. Noontime, lunchtime with colleagues or solo lunch listening to motivational speeches and content. 5 p.m. drive home. 6 p.m. dinner and glass of wine. 7 p.m. working on your business, self-development, reading, glow up time. 8 p.m. you watch your favorite show, scroll your social media platforms for kicks and giggles, or read a book. 9:30 p.m. meditation and prayer. 10 p.m. melatonin, and then good night. Sleep tight. And again, another dose of melatonin to get you right if you're still having trouble sleeping. Because that's what we're going to do. You in boot camp. You in Recovery 101 boot camp. All right? It's no game. Anytime during your booked and busy day, if your mind becomes idle, it's AirPods in, motivational content turned up, self-development on replay, spiritual content on continuous play, or audible books on books on books on books. You see what I'm saying? Make the schedule your own. Stick to it all day, every day. No days off for 2 weeks straight. Exactly 14 days. If you fall off one day, you're back at day one. You're back at the start. What you're doing here is training your mind and reinvesting your time and energy into new efforts. You are recreating and reimagining yourself. You are doing new things. Okay? Hello, something new. See how I just helped you get yourself all the way together? See how generous and kind I am? You're welcome. This strategy worked for me a long time ago before I was married and in a bad relationship. My mind was made up. I was never, ever, ever going back to that situation. Ever. And your mind has to be made up too. The way I gave myself a forever busy, forever doing something schedule, I was over that guy. And the nightmares of a relationship like that, no more. So my mind was so strong and affixed on my new me. They realized to leave me alone pretty much and stop playing games with me because I was never going back. So basically you open up the dictionary and there you will see my face right next to the word adios. Listen, you can get over him. You can find a new way to invest your time into yourself, like invest in yourself post a breakup, because after all, you are the commodity and you bring value in exchange for value wherever you go. I'm just saying. Thanks for listening to the Ever Airwaves Think podcast. If today's episode made you elevate, share it with someone who needs it. Until next time, keep questioning until you have those answers. I'm out.